Hi everybody, it's Steve on his weekly waffle. I haven't got much to waffle on about this week actually. One thing I will say is I did quote in my last waffle that the coronavirus has opened a great opportunity for the powers to be to start introducing some form of laws and reforms on our social life at weekends, i.e. usually going to the pub and having a drink. They've now brought in a sobriety bracelet, is it? So if you're caught drunk and disorderly, it's in force now. If you're caught and you're drunk and disorderly, you will be forced to wear this bracelet for 3 months, and it monitors your sweat glands if you've had any alcohol. This is just the first step. I said something had happened, and this is just the first step. It's quite scary, really. We just have to see what goes on. Yeah, we just have to see what goes on with it. Well, that's been introduced. I think it's been in. It was on the news the day after I posted my last waffling blog, and yeah, so it is actually it is law now that if you are found in a drunken disorderly fashion, you will be you will have to wear this sobriety bracelet. You'll come up with some names for me. Anyway, that's one thing, and the other thing that really peed me off is this I'm a Dick Cummins, Dominic Cummins, I think he should be called I'm a Dick Cummins. I'm travelling the 260 miles with his wife and child to visit his elderly parents, and this is with his wife having already contracted the coronavirus symptoms, and he's the guy who tells us that we shouldn't move at all, self-isolate. And the annoying thing is, he didn't go on his own. He went with the woman who has actually got the disease. So he's travelled 260 miles to go somewhere with a carrier of the disease that is causing us all to stay stuck in the bleeding houses and not doing anything, and scared of doing anything. And he says he's perfectly within the law, or within his rights, to have done what he did. I don't think so. Do you? We're all told to stay in. If you've got the virus, you self-isolate. If you're not in hospital, you self-isolate. Now, I'm not being funny, but if you're in your house, you can self-isolate. If you go out in a car and you stay in the car, you're self-isolating, but there's a risk, isn't there? You're not going to go in the car for 260 miles and not stop somewhere. And indeed, when you get to that house, in this case the parents, they're going to go into the house, aren't they? And the parents have been self-isolating, or they've been staying away from public areas to keep themselves safe, and then they go in. So, you know, come on, one rule for one and one rule for the other again. It's the same every time. There's always an excuse. Oh, it was okay. It's not okay for me to go out. It's not okay for you to go out if you've got the virus. Oh, it's okay, I've got the virus, but I'm within my rights too. A load of bollocks. So yeah, and he's the guy who gives us all the information and tells us what we should do and what we shouldn't do. So I'm sorry, mate, if it's a rule for us, it's a rule for you as well. No excuses. It's a rule for everybody. You did wrong, and you should pay for it, just like we would pay for it if we did something like that. You should pay for it as well, and you should have more sense than to go and break a ruling like that anyway, you know. Hi everybody, Just a bit more on the waffle. I haven't, like I said at the beginning, I've not got a lot to say actually this week. I am a bit surprised about Boris Johnson sticking up for I'm a Dick Cummings. I thought Boris was a bit more for the people than this. I did like him at one time. I thought he was doing well for everybody, but I'm afraid if he's not, he's like everybody else. If he's going to support that man for breaking the rules and everybody barefaced lying that he did everything lawful, it's just a damn lie. It's as easy as that. It goes back to one rule for them and one rule for us again. That man didn't do anything right at all. He blatantly just did allegedly what he did without giving it a second thought. Everybody in this country is struggling. Everybody in this country with children are struggling to find somebody to care for the children. And don't tell me there wasn't one suitable person in the whole of London that could have looked after that child for a week or two if he had issues. Everybody's the same. We're all the same. But I don't think the police have stopped anybody else for driving 260 miles just to try and find a babysitter. It's just pure arrogance. That's all it is. It really pisses me off, things like that. Normal people like ourselves are breaking our backs to try and conform to the requests. One, because we can't afford to be fined every 5 minutes for doing something wrong, which I don't think we should be fined anyway. And two, we all want to survive. We've all got children. We've all got loved ones, you know, and there's been people that couldn't go to the kids' funerals or the loved ones' funerals because of the epidemic, yet he chose fit to drive 260 miles with a woman who's got the contagious disease, and then he has the audacity to say they never really got out of the car anyway. He must have filled it up en route somewhere and en route back again. They filled the car up en route and on the way back. And don't tell me that lady sat in that car for 260 miles without getting out of the car at any time to stretch her legs or anything like that. No, it's just lies. It's typical lies from that type of person. And it hurts me to think that, you know, he's got away with it. And here's the guy who's leading the country, who I do hold my hands up. I don't like politics whatsoever. I've never liked any politicians at all. They're all in it for themselves at the end of the day. But I did think that Boris was probably the only one who ever appeared to stick up for the people. I'm really upset about that. He's turned out just to be the same as everybody else. It's such a shame, really. But we'll get through it one way or another. Probably without a rebellion, I don't know. But you know, they're talking now of sticking fines on people to get home the message, because everybody is now using I'm a Dick, whatever his bleeding name is, for Dominic, isn't it? Sorry, Dominic Cummings. I'm a Dick Cummings. Everybody's using him now as a reason to go out, which I don't blame him. Well, if he can do it, why can't we do it? I don't blame him. I do the same myself, you know. Well, I'm very sorry when you find him for doing it. You find us as well, but you know, until then you can't. That's all I've got to say at the moment, really. You know, I'm a bit pissed off about it all. I'm getting a bit fed up now anyway, so it's nearly 3 months I think now, only moving out to get supplies and having a quick walk around when I can. It does seem a little bit more relaxed. Right, that's it for now. Speak to you later.